Hey crafty friends, today's a special video. I'm creating a custom planner cover for my classic Happy Planner using the Create Your Own cover set from the Happy Planner brand. Now, full disclosure, this is a previous live stream video that I re-edited. So the original video is over an hour long. So I edited the video so I kept the most essential information, the most essential steps for you. And this might look familiar to some of you, but regardless, let's get started. I loved the cover of my Happy Planner at the time, but I liked that I had the option to customize it without having to buy the planner punch, the Happy Planner punch. This insert cover, like DIY insert cover was under $10. And it reminds me of those binders from high school where you could customize the front. I loved collaging even then. I've been in love with collaging since junior high. I'll have to dig out some of those if I still have those binder covers so you can see baby Jeanette's work. Okay, so what's great about this DIY Happy Planner cover is that you're not stuck with one look for the whole year. If your style changes or the seasons change, you can just slip the old cover out of the sleeve and slip a new one in. So you could do a Christmas one if you'd like. So yeah, at this time I was looking through all of my ephemera and journaling cards and paint chips and trying to find things that felt a little bit more like me. I wanted to use my absolute favorite pieces for this because I wanted it to be like everything that I love. Now it's funny because I initially was so sure I was going to use these first journaling cards with the coffee theme, but the end result was completely different, and it's a lot like life. Crafting always makes me get philosophical. Maybe philosophical is not the right word. Maybe the better word is like introspective. So anytime I'm working with like a lot of elements like ephemera and die cuts and journaling cards, my brain turns them into puzzle pieces, but sometimes also something deeper. Sometimes I look at them like people or problems or situations in my life, and I'm just trying to solve it on paper and make it look beautiful and balanced. I think it's the peacemaker in me. It's kind of weird. I know. I'm not crazy, I promise. Maybe I am. You might have seen my custom printed paint chips, and that is probably my most requested tutorial. So that card right there on the right is a paint chip that I printed a quote on. So how do you print on paint chips? It happened back in 2015 on a cold winter's day where I spent about 3 very frustrating hours after work adjusting sizes and margins on a Word document and, feeding my paint chips into a printer like manual feeder and getting it wrong like 475 times. It was the most frustrating thing in the world. I can't bring myself to do it again, but I can tell you that I did it in a Word document. So I created a document with the exact same dimensions as a paint chip. So measured the paint chip and just created a document that size. I typed in the quote and then I printed it under the manual feeder tray. So if you're really familiar with your printer, this might be easier for you. And then just do a few tests. So you might have to try it 125 times to get it right, but if you're determined, it's possible. And if you want to skip the mess, the printer and the margins and all that, then just get some large sentiment stamps and stamp directly onto the paint chip with archival ink. Or if you have a typewriter, feed the paint chip into the typewriter and type out your quote. You might have to glue the paint chip temporarily onto an 8.5 by 11 sheet with some low tack tape, because if you feed it into a typewriter, the roller, you won't be able to type at the very bottom of the paint chip because, or the top. It'd be the top of the paint chip, because the roller is too short. The roller is too big and it'll shorten the paint chip. Anyway, I think you know what I'm saying. I'm so sorry if I'm confusing anybody, but it is possible to use a typewriter as well. I've mentioned before that I struggle with procrastination, but I've noticed that anytime I have a pretty planner to look at and go to it every day, that I'm more productive during that season of my life. If my planner looks like a mess, I don't want to open it. But if it looks like a piece of art that I'm proud of, then I'm more likely to sit down, look at it, and actually get my stuff done, get my tasks done. Noticed that all the things I used in this layout are things that I absolutely loved and still have. But at the time, I had these things for years and I was hoarding them for the perfect project. But I'm so glad that I ended up using them. A lot of my stash, particularly my washi tape collection, got ruined from not using it and also from excess moisture in the UK. That did a number on some of my stuff. But life is too short to not use your precious craft stash. So this is my encouragement for you to, use the things that you love. Don't save stuff for the perfect project because that perfect project might never come. Just use it today while you still got a chance to make something beautiful. If you're just starting out with collaging or you've never tried it, here are 5 collage tips for beginners. So number 1, start from your big pieces and then move to your smaller pieces. So if you remember, I started out with some large journaling cards and then now I'm adding like smaller like stickers throughout the layout. So start from big and then go to small. Number 2, don't layer similar colors together. So if your journaling card is a light blue, don't put a heavily light blue die cut right next to it because it's going to blend into the background and you want to give it a chance to shine and stand out on its own. Number 3, use a little bit of glue when you're ready, like a single dot in the center of your piece or ephemera or your die cut, on the back, just a little single dot will do. This way, if you need to shift anything, if you change your mind about something, you'll have an easier time lifting off that piece off of the page and you'll avoid tearing your ephemera. Number 4, try to give your collage a little balance by being mindful of the colors that you're using. So notice how I used a light blue journaling card on the bottom left. I balanced that big light blue piece by adding an ephemera of a teapot in the same color on the upper right. So it balanced out the overall design. Number 5, take a reference photo of your final placement before gluing it down because sometimes as you start to glue down these different pieces, they'll start to shift around and having a reference photo will be so helpful. Last thing I did was add some sequins for a little bit of sparkle, but if you're worried about the sequins falling out, feel free to use a fuse tool to fuse it with a fuse tool. Are those still around? I don't know. Also, you could use clear tape or you can use a cute like strip of washi tape to just like seal all across the top. All right, that's it, crafty friends. Thank you so much for watching and also let me know what your current planner cover looks like. Is it the original one that came with the planner? Did you make a custom one? Did you add stickers to it? Or is it just the one that came with? That's totally fine too. I'd love to know. Thank you.